use your imagination. I think just going to the shop and buying them, I actually feel bad about buying it now. I wish I hadn't have. What's better than using your wife's favourite fabric scissors? Using the bread knife. I'm really pushing it today. We have lots of chooks. We have lots and lots of chooks. And we've also got this guy here. Chook poo, turns out, brings flies. You can probably hear him buzzing around. We have a few fly catchers, which are doing an awesome job, but they're just not doing enough. And then this guy has decided to bring his meat outside, and it's left lots and lots of blowies. So I've got an idea. I'm gonna make a big monster fly trap with his meat. If he's not gonna eat it, I'm gonna use it. It's gonna be cheap. So this fly trap has been out here for about a week. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I wanna get on top of the fly problem. We're only on 1,600 squares. So at the moment, that's not the end of the world, but if we have a bigger farm and stuff like that, we still want to manage our flies. There's going to be more animals, there's going to be cows and who even knows. So we want to make sure that we can get on top of our manure problems early, and so we're going to set up this big fly trap, and this is going to be so cheap, so cheap. You're going to laugh at how cheap it's going to be. I'm going to trial it, and you're going to see my failures, and it doesn't really matter because I'm just trying to make it work.
So a quick trip to Bunnings. We picked up what we needed for pretty cheap. The hose that Les needed was probably a bit too long, but that's okay because there are other projects in his mind that we could use the rest for. Hey babe.
Yeah, I just went to Bunnings and just picked up a few little bits and pieces just for fun. I'm going to make a big fly trap, well, not big, but decent size, and see how it goes. But then I thought, you know what, like, okay, it's a bit extravagant for a fly catcher, but I think I paid like 15 bucks for like the fly catcher that we bought. And I feel, how stupid is that, right? So what I decided to do, I thought I'd get an extravagant one that I'm gonna make myself and give you a few ideas. It's not the only way to do it. There's heaps of different ways, and the concept is pretty much all the same. Something smelly, like a rotten meat or something, has to go in the container with some water just to keep it all going, and the flies end up drowning in. Sort of like that. That's the basic concept. A small hole at the top so they don't just fly in and out. They sort of get trapped in there. Other than that, it's real basic, and it's something we can all do at home to reduce the fly problem. The good part about it is, you just dig a hole later and bury all the contents. Some of these fly catching things have nasty chemicals in it. This is going to be simply stinky meat. And I just got the idea today because my dog had taken his meat outside and then just left it. So it was a bit stinky. So the flies were all over it. I thought, man, that is great. They don't want to go in my fly trap right now. They just want to go in the stinky meat. So I thought, I'm going to grab this stinky meat, chuck it in here, and I'm going to show you some pretty cheap ideas of what you can use at home with whatever you've got. So I've got this container here, real simple. I actually bought this from Bunnings. It was $6.50 or something like that. It's not much. A little trick that I'll show you guys with this stuff. This plastic is so brittle. It's garbage really. But I'm not going to try and drill holes in this, because what happens if you drill a hole in it, the stuff just shatters and it goes everywhere. So I'm going to show you how to cut it just with something hot. I've got a soldering iron, which makes it a lot easier. If you haven't got a soldering iron, get a knife, chuck it on the stove and go from there. That's all you need. This is going to be my extravagant one. I've got some tubing. It's 10 mil. It's just big enough for a fly to get down in and then hopefully get stuck in there, because I love the smell of stinky meat. But for like cheap ones, we're going to try this. I love my my homestead. Now we get it in a pretty decent sized container. I thought it's got a great big lid on the top. So that means we can put a decent sized bit of wood in it, a decent sized bit of meat in it, and some water. And I'll just put a little hole in the top for this 10 mil tube to go through. And then I've got this Coke bottle. Real simple. I didn't make up this idea. I think I saw it years ago. I thought, how simple is that? This bottle is worth 10 cents recycled, so you can't recycle it once we've done this to it. 10 cents, really? Sure, we can all afford 10 cents. So we're going to make a few different ones, and we're just going to trial them, see how we go. Hope you like our backdrop, the special studio we have here, aka our 1950s kitchen. Yeah. So yeah, hang around and I'm going to come up with a few ideas and talk you through it. Stay tuned. So now, I don't need this part, this is the easy bit. What I'm going to do, get this lid, I'm going to get this going. I'll be back. Alright, so I got my trusty soldering iron going, you can see it's red. Real simple, I'm going to put 2 in this one. I want to double barrel this one. Put 2 holes in it. Punch a hole straight through like that. How good's the smell? You can smell it from there, can't you? Oh yeah, lots of stinky, probably worth doing outside. But guess what? It's raining here again. I seem to be saying that a lot. This is actually a jag. This fits perfectly. The other one while I'm on the go. This is how easy it is. I didn't know this was going to be as easy as this. Done. I'm just going to poke a hole in this one. Done. Look at that. Right, so that was really quick and easy. I got Megs' special fabric scissors because I couldn't find any in the house. So if this is my last video ever, it's been great. Cut the plastic, just make it a little bit longer so they can get through it, and it sort of traps them into place. So look at this is how easy it was. I cut a 10 mil hole in the top with my soldering iron, just punched it straight through, which was awesome. Oh, look at that, still a bit coming through. Poke the tube through. Poke it almost all the way through, just so it's got something there to sort of stick in. They'll get in there, and you can see the fly should just get up in the back there and get stuck. That's my Ubella container done. Real easy. As I said, you could do it with a pair of scissors, preferably not your wife's fabric scissors, and you'll live a long, healthy life. At the same time, I've done my double barrel fly catcher. You can see right there, almost pushed all the way through, but all the way through on the other side. And that sits straight in there like that. I'm wondering if I'm going to get any more flies in a big one or a small one. I don't even know. But the concept's pretty simple, that you can all do. Maybe not. I'll try this. Anyway, what's better than using your wife's favourite fabric scissors? Using the bread knife. I'm really pushing it today. So this is another concept, just a Coke bottle, any kind of bottle really. Turning it upside down. Just like that. Put a bit of sticky tape on the top. Take the lid off, of course. Chuck the meat in there, chuck the water in there, chuck that on there. Make sure it's a nice seal. Sticky tape it into place. You are done. What do you think? Have you thought of doing this yourself? Do you already do it yourself? Got some tips on the tube lengths or anything silly like that? Let us know in the comments below. Back in a second with some meat. Alright, so it's got the kettle going. I'm going to put warm water in it just to stimulate the meat going off, make it quicker and soggy and yucky. This was going to be for Rufus, our dog, but he did the unthinkable inside last night on our floor. I was not happy, so he's not getting any. He's in the meat timeout section. He can just have normal food from now on. So yeah, I'm just going to cut it up into pieces, lots of different pieces, and just trial each one of them. So that should accelerate the rotten time a bit quicker. Gonna put that back on. See how it goes. This is a bit of a trial for me as well, but I've got nothing to lose at all, really. Done. I've literally just sticky taped it just into place, just so it's easy to come off. You can see that the flies can't get around the edge. There's a bit of a tight fit there. That one there, those go straight in that hole and they get stuck. This one here, just the same. I'll chuck it out there, see if we start to get some. Okay, so last week I showed you guys how to make a few quick fly traps. And the reason why I did that is because we've got quite a few flies around here having chooks. Excuse them as kids are cleaning up the backyard, which is good. I'm not interrupting that. Bit of banging and clanging going on. But I was inspired by, I'll show you what we originally had. So we had this fly trap. It's pretty disgusting. I hope you're not having breakfast or lunch or tea. This is what we were using before. This fly trap, it's been over a week now. The smell's pretty rank, so yeah, it's not great, but it's really effective. You can see that it worked a treat. And so I made my own design up. I made this design up of my own, and I tried to copy these a little bit. The same principle. The fly traps are real basic, right? The trick is to have an entry for them to go in and sort of have it so that they're trapped on a bit of an angle and they can't get it out. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a sec. So I use like the 10mm hole principle, which is about the size of what these guys use where they make it. Super effective, works awesome, right? I'm happy with that. 14 bucks each, or like 14 bucks for a pair, which is pretty cheap, but man, there's so much rubbish and stuff getting around now. This is just another piece of plastic we've got that it's only like like you don't use it for very often, then it's gone. So I decided to make something of my own. This is going to get pretty rank because I actually use meat in these, and I use the same meat in all three of the designs that I made. And I just did that so consistency, we can see how we could go. So that was the first one, and then I just thought, you know what, I'll make one out of an old container. That's recycling, right? It's all good. Use a 10mm hole, and all I've done is put a piece of pipe. Well, you saw the piece of pipe. So here's where we're at with it. I think we've got probably 3 flies in here. I think they probably fell in there by accident. It doesn't look like it's a real successful attempt. I think the idea of that size is cool, but I think the problem is that the hole is way too small. And I'm going to show you this next one, which is really cool. Actually, I'll show you my other design that I did. Then I used the mothership. It's huge, right? It's really cool. I thought this would work a treat, and this would be full as anything. It's after a week, and yeah, again, I think there's probably 2 or 3 flies in there that have fallen in there by accident. So the design wasn't really great. If I was to do it again, I'd probably make the hole way bigger, and I'd probably use something like a, I don't know, 17 or a 19mm hole with a bit of pipe that goes down through it about that far, just so that they get trapped in there. But this is the one that blows my mind, right? This one's cool. This was a 10-cent Coke bottle. Well, not 10 cents, but you know, like if I was to take it to recycling, I'd get 10 cents for it. So I sacrificed 10 cents. Look at that. That's 1 week. That is 1 week. That's pretty disgusting. But I think that's the way I'm going to go. It's a simple setup. It's chop it, sticky tape it, and I've caught thousands, and I mean thousands of flies in that. That one's pretty done and pretty rank. It's almost sickening to even smell it. But it's worked. And I reckon I'm just going to go and get a few more bottles. And I'm going to do that again. That was the cheapest, easiest way to make a fly trap ever.